The story of America is a tale woven into the fabric of human history. It's a story of exploration, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of freedom. From the first intrepid souls who dared to cross the vast Atlantic to the rise of a global superpower, America's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Our story begins long before the United States existed, even before the name America graced the maps. It starts with ancient civilizations, their cultures lost to the mists of time, their stories whispered on the wind across vast prairies and towering mountain ranges. These indigenous people, the first Americans, lived in harmony with the land, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of nature. Then came the Europeans, driven by dreams of gold, glory, and new beginnings. Theirs is a complex story, one of discovery and conquest, of cooperation and conflict. It's a story of hardship and perseverance, of building a new life in a new world. These early settlers, with their diverse backgrounds and unwavering determination, laid the foundation for a nation that would defy all odds. From these humble beginnings, a new society began to emerge, one forged in the crucible of revolution and shaped by the ideals of liberty and self-governance. The colonists, no longer content to be ruled from afar, dared to challenge the might of an empire, igniting a firestorm that would forever alter the course of human history. The American Revolution was a testament to the human spirit's unyielding desire for freedom. It was a clash of ideologies, a battle for the very soul of a nation. Farmers and shopkeepers, armed with muskets and fueled by an unshakable belief in their cause, faced down the greatest military force of their time. The victory was hard-won, secured through the blood, sweat, and sacrifice of countless individuals who dared to dream of a better future, a future where they could govern themselves and determine their own destiny. And so, from the ashes of revolution, a new nation was born, the United States of America, a beacon of hope and a symbol of freedom for a world yearning for change. The path to greatness, however, was not paved with ease. The fledgling nation, still finding its footing, faced internal strife and external threats. The question of slavery, a dark stain on the fabric of American society, threatened to tear the nation apart. Expansion westward brought with it conflict with Native American tribes, their ancient ways of life clashing with the relentless march of progress. Through it all, the American spirit endured. The Civil War, a brutal and bloody conflict, tested the nation's resolve, ultimately leading to the abolition of slavery and the reaffirmation of the principle that all men are created equal. The westward expansion, though fraught with difficulty, opened up vast new territories, fueling economic growth and shaping the national identity. America's story is one of constant evolution, of learning from its past and striving to create a more perfect union. It's a story of resilience and determination, of overcoming adversity and emerging stronger on the other side. As the 19th century gave way to the 20th, America emerged as a global power. Its influence felt far beyond its borders. The Industrial Revolution transformed the nation into an economic powerhouse, while 2 world wars tested its mettle and solidified its position as a leader on the world stage. Through the tumult of the 20th century, America grappled with its own internal struggles. The civil rights movement challenged the nation to confront its legacy of racism and inequality. The Cold War brought the world to the brink of nuclear annihilation, testing America's resolve and shaping its foreign policy for decades to come. Yet, through it all, America persevered, its spirit unbroken, its dreams undimmed. The story of America is not a fairy tale. It's a complex and nuanced tapestry woven from the threads of countless individual stories. It's a story that continues to unfold before our very eyes, full of promise and possibility, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. With the echoes of revolution still reverberating through the land, the newly independent states faced the daunting task of governing themselves. The Articles of Confederation, adopted in 1777, represented the first attempt to establish a unified government for the fledgling nation. These articles, however, proved to be a loose and often ineffective framework, reflecting the deep-seated fear of centralized power that permeated the young nation. Under the Articles of Confederation, the states retained a significant degree of autonomy, jealously guarding their sovereignty against any perceived encroachment from a central authority. The Continental Congress, lacking the power to tax or regulate commerce, found itself hamstrung in its ability to address the pressing issues facing the nation. Interstate disputes flared, economic instability loomed, and the dream of a united and prosperous America seemed to be slipping away. The weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation became painfully apparent in the years following the Revolutionary War. The government, starved for revenue and lacking the authority to enforce its decrees, struggled to repay war debts and maintain order. Shays' Rebellion, an armed uprising of farmers in Massachusetts protesting economic hardship, served as a stark reminder of the fragility of the young nation and the urgent need for a more effective system of governance. Out of the ashes of this early experiment in self-governance arose a determination to forge a more perfect union. In the summer of 1787, delegates from the 13 states convened in Philadelphia for what would become known as the Constitutional Convention, their mission to address the deficiencies of the Articles of Confederation and create a new framework for a stronger and more unified nation. The delegates, a diverse group of statesmen, lawyers, and merchants, brought with them a wealth of experience and a shared commitment to the ideals of liberty and self-government. They also brought their own regional interests and deeply held convictions, setting the stage for a summer of intense debate and delicate compromise. At the heart of the debate lay fundamental questions about the nature of power, the balance between liberty and order, and the relationship between the states and the federal government. The Virginia Plan, championed by James Madison, proposed a strong central government with representation based on population, while the New Jersey Plan, favored by smaller states, advocated for equal representation for each state regardless of size. The Great Compromise, a testament to the art of political negotiation, resolved this impasse by creating a bicameral legislature with a Senate, where each state had equal representation, and a House of Representatives, where representation was based on population. With the ratification of the Constitution in 1788, the United States of America embarked on a new chapter in its history. The newly established federal government, now vested with greater authority and resources, set about the task of building a nation. One of the first orders of business was to choose a location for the nation's capital, a city that would embody the aspirations of this bold new experiment in democracy. After much debate and deliberation, a site along the Potomac River, straddling the border between Maryland and Virginia, was selected. This location, originally inhabited by the Nacotchtank people, offered a strategic position for commerce and transportation, as well as a symbolic gesture of unity between the North and the South. And so, from a swampy patch of land, the city of Washington, named in honor of the nation's first president, began to take shape. Pierre-Charles L'Enfant, a French-born architect and engineer, was commissioned to design the city, envisioning a grand metropolis with wide avenues, spacious parks, and imposing monuments that would reflect the grandeur of a rising nation. The construction of the Capitol building, the White House, and other government buildings marked the beginning of Washington's transformation from a humble settlement into a symbol of American power and ambition. As the young nation consolidated its power and established its presence on the world stage, an opportunity arose that would dramatically reshape the map of North America and set the stage for westward expansion. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson, in a move that would double the size of the United States, negotiated the purchase of the Louisiana Territory from France for the sum of $15 million. The Louisiana Purchase, encompassing some 828,000 square miles of land stretching from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains, represented a strategic and economic boon for the United States. It provided access to vital waterways, vast tracts of fertile farmland, and a wealth of natural resources, fueling the nation's westward expansion and laying the groundwork for its emergence as a continental power. The acquisition of this vast territory, however, was not without its critics. Some questioned the constitutionality of the purchase, arguing that President Jefferson had overstepped his authority. Others expressed concern about the potential for conflict with Native American tribes who had long inhabited these lands. Despite these concerns, the Louisiana Purchase remains a pivotal moment in American history, a testament to the nation's ambition and its relentless pursuit of westward expansion. Just a few years after the Louisiana Purchase, the United States once again found itself embroiled in a conflict with Great Britain, a conflict that would test the young nation's resolve and shape its sense of national identity. The War of 1812, sparked by British impressment of American sailors, maritime disputes, and tensions with Native Americans on the western frontier, was a defining moment in American history, solidifying its independence and forging a new sense of national unity. The war, fought on land and sea, was marked by both triumphs and setbacks for the United States. The burning of Washington, D.C. by British forces in 1814 served as a humiliating blow, but the valiant defense of Fort McHenry in Baltimore Harbor, which inspired Francis Scott Key to pen the words to "The Star-Spangled Banner," became a rallying cry for American patriotism. The War of 1812, though ultimately ending in a stalemate, had a profound impact on the United States. It demonstrated to the world that the young nation was a force to be reckoned with, capable of defending its interests on the international stage. It also fostered a new sense of national pride and unity, as Americans from all walks of life came together to defend their country. With the War of 1812 behind it, the United States embarked on a period of westward expansion that would come to define the 19th century. Driven by a belief in manifest destiny, the idea that the United States was destined by God to expand its dominion and spread democracy and civilization across the continent, Americans pushed westward, seeking new opportunities and forging new settlements in the vast expanse beyond the Mississippi River. The allure of the West, with its promise of fertile land, abundant resources, and boundless opportunity, proved irresistible to waves of settlers, entrepreneurs, and adventurers. Pioneers braved treacherous journeys along the Oregon Trail and the Santa Fe Trail, their wagon trains carving paths through the wilderness, their dreams fueling their westward trek. This westward expansion, however, came at a steep price. Native American tribes, their traditional ways of life disrupted by the relentless influx of settlers, were forcibly removed from their ancestral lands, often through treaties that were broken as soon as they were signed. The Indian Removal Act of 1830, which led to the Trail of Tears, stands as a stark reminder of the human cost of westward expansion and the dark legacy of broken promises and forced displacement that continues to haunt the nation's conscience. As the 19th century unfolded, a profound transformation swept across the American landscape, forever altering the nation's economic and social fabric. The rise of industry, fueled by technological innovation, abundant natural resources, and a growing workforce, propelled the United States from its agrarian roots to its position as an industrial powerhouse. The seeds of this industrial revolution were sown in the decades following the War of 1812. The invention of the cotton gin, revolutionized Southern agriculture, while the development of interchangeable parts and the factory system transformed manufacturing in the North. Railroads, stretching their iron ribbons across the continent, connected distant markets and fueled economic growth. The rise of industry had a profound impact on American society. Cities swelled with new arrivals, as immigrants from Europe and rural areas flocked to urban centers in search of work. The factory system, with its emphasis on efficiency and mass production, created new opportunities for wealth creation, but also gave rise to new social problems, including labor unrest, income inequality, and environmental degradation. The issue of slavery, a festering wound on the soul of the nation since its founding, reached a boiling point in the mid-19th century. The expansion of slavery into Western territories, coupled with growing moral opposition to the institution in the North, ignited a firestorm of controversy that would culminate in the bloodiest conflict in American history. The election of Abraham Lincoln, a staunch opponent of slavery in 1860, proved to be the catalyst for secession. 11 Southern states, determined to preserve their way of life and the institution of slavery, seceded from the Union, forming the Confederate States of America. And so, brother fought against brother, father against son, in a brutal conflict that would test the very fabric of the nation and leave an enduring legacy on American society. The Civil War, a clash of ideologies and a battle for the soul of a nation, raged for 4 long years, claiming the lives of over 600,000 Americans. The Union victory in 1865 preserved the nation and brought an end to slavery, but the struggle for civil rights and equality for African Americans would continue for generations to come. In the aftermath of the Civil War, the nation embarked on a complex and tumultuous period of Reconstruction, seeking to rebuild the war-torn South and integrate formerly enslaved people into American society. The Reconstruction amendments to the Constitution abolished slavery, granted citizenship to African Americans, and guaranteed equal protection under the law. Reconstruction, however, was a time of both progress and bitter disappointment. While African Americans celebrated newfound freedoms and participated in government for the first time, they also faced persistent racism, violence, and discrimination. The rise of Jim Crow laws in the South, designed to disenfranchise African Americans and enforce segregation, created a system of racial apartheid that would cast a long shadow over American society. Despite these challenges, African Americans continued to fight for their rights and equality. From the courtrooms to the streets, they challenged discriminatory laws, organized for social justice, and demanded their rightful place in American society. The struggle for civil rights would continue throughout the 20th century, culminating in the landmark achievements of the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s. The late 19th century, often referred to as the Gilded Age, was a time of rapid industrial expansion, unprecedented immigration, and profound social change. The nation, still healing from the wounds of the Civil War, witnessed an explosion of economic growth, fueled by technological innovation, abundant natural resources, and a seemingly inexhaustible supply of cheap labor. The rise of big business, led by titans of industry such as Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, and J.P. Morgan, transformed the American economy. Railroads crisscrossed the continent, steel mills churned out the building blocks of a modern nation, and oil derricks sprouted from the ground, fueling the engines of industry. This era of unprecedented economic growth, however, was also marked by stark inequalities. While the wealthy elite amassed vast fortunes, the working class toiled long hours in dangerous conditions for meager wages. Labor unrest grew, as workers organized into unions to demand better pay, safer working conditions, and a voice in the workplace. As the 20th century dawned, a new spirit of reform swept across the nation, challenging the excesses of the Gilded Age and demanding greater social justice. The Progressive Era, spanning the first 2 decades of the 20th century, witnessed a wave of reforms aimed at addressing the ills of industrialization, urbanization, and political corruption. Progressive reformers, driven by a belief in the power of government to address social problems, championed a wide range of causes from improving working conditions and regulating big business to protecting consumers and expanding democratic participation. Muckraking journalists exposed corruption and injustice, while social reformers worked tirelessly to improve the lives of the urban poor, immigrants, and other marginalized groups. The Progressive Era left an enduring legacy on American society. It ushered in an era of greater government regulation of the economy, expanded democratic participation through reforms such as the direct election of senators and women's suffrage, and laid the groundwork for the modern welfare state. For much of its early history, the United States pursued a foreign policy of isolationism, seeking to avoid entanglement in European affairs, and focusing its energies on westward expansion and internal development. However, by the late 19th century, America's growing economic and military might, coupled with its expanding global interests, made it increasingly difficult to remain aloof from world affairs. The Spanish-American War in 1898 marked a turning point in American foreign policy. The United States' victory in this brief conflict propelled it onto the world stage as a nascent global power, with territorial acquisitions in the Caribbean and the Pacific. The early 20th century saw the United States grapple with its newfound role as a global power. President Theodore Roosevelt, a proponent of big stick diplomacy, asserted American power in Latin America and the Caribbean, while President Woodrow Wilson led the nation into World War I in 1917, declaring that America would make the world safe for democracy. The 1920s, a decade of unprecedented prosperity and social change, roared into life with the exuberance of a jazz band, its rhythms echoing across the nation. World War I, the war to end all wars, had propelled the United States to a position of global dominance, and a wave of optimism swept across the land. The Roaring Twenties, as the decade came to be known, was a time of economic boom, technological innovation, and cultural ferment. The automobile, once a luxury for the wealthy, became affordable for the masses, transforming American life and fueling the growth of new industries. Radios brought news and entertainment into homes across the country, while motion pictures, with their flickering images and silent dramas, captivated audiences and created a new breed of celebrity. The exuberance of the Roaring Twenties, however, masked underlying economic problems that would come to a head in the fall of 1929 with the stock market crash. The Great Depression, the worst economic crisis in American history, plunged the nation into a decade of hardship and despair. Unemployment soared, businesses failed, and breadlines stretched for blocks as millions of Americans struggled to survive. As the Great Depression gripped the United States, a storm was brewing in Europe that would once again draw the nation into a global conflict. The rise of fascism in Germany, Italy, and Japan, fueled by aggressive nationalism and expansionist ambitions, threatened the fragile peace that had followed World War I. The Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, a date that would live in infamy, shattered America's isolationist impulses and galvanized the nation for war. Millions of Americans answered the call to arms, joining the Allied forces in a desperate struggle against the Axis powers. World War II was a conflict of unprecedented scale and savagery, claiming the lives of over 60 million people worldwide. The United States, its industrial might fully mobilized, played a pivotal role in the Allied victory, but at a tremendous cost in human life and treasure. The ashes of World War II settled upon a world forever changed, a world divided by ideology and locked in a new kind of conflict, the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union, former allies against Nazi Germany, emerged from the conflict as superpowers, their rivalry shaping the geopolitical landscape for decades to come. The Cold War was a global struggle for supremacy, a clash of ideologies between the capitalist West, led by the United States, and the Communist East, dominated by the Soviet Union. It was a conflict fought not on traditional battlefields but through proxy wars, espionage, propaganda, and a nuclear arms race that brought the world to the brink of annihilation. The Cold War cast a long shadow over American life. The threat of nuclear war loomed large, fueling anxieties and shaping domestic and foreign policy. The United States engaged in costly military interventions in Korea and Vietnam, seeking to contain the spread of communism. The space race, a competition for technological superiority, captured the imagination of the world and pushed the boundaries of human ingenuity. While the United States grappled with the challenges of the Cold War, it also faced a reckoning with its own internal divisions. The Civil Rights Movement, a decades-long struggle for equality and justice for African Americans, reached its crescendo in the 1950s and 60s, challenging the nation to live up to its ideals of liberty and equality for all. Inspired by the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi and led by figures such as Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X, the civil rights movement employed nonviolent resistance, civil disobedience, and legal challenges to dismantle the system of segregation and discrimination that had plagued the nation for generations. The civil rights movement achieved significant victories, including the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, and guaranteed the right to vote for all citizens. However, the struggle for racial equality and social justice continues to this day, as the nation grapples with the legacy of slavery and systemic racism. The latter half of the 20th century witnessed a technological revolution that would transform the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. The invention of the transistor, the integrated circuit, and the personal computer ushered in the information age, an era characterized by rapid technological innovation, globalization, and the rise of the Internet. The Internet, once a niche technology used primarily by academics and researchers, has become an indispensable part of modern life, connecting billions of people worldwide and transforming the way we communicate, consume information, and conduct business. The rise of social media has created new platforms for expression and activism, but also raised concerns about privacy, misinformation, and the erosion of civil discourse. As the 21st century unfolds, the United States faces a complex array of challenges, from climate change and economic inequality to political polarization and the rise of authoritarianism around the world. The COVID-19 pandemic, a global health crisis of unprecedented scale, has exposed deep societal fissures and tested the nation's resilience. Yet, even in the face of adversity, the American spirit of innovation, resilience, and a commitment to democratic ideals offers hope for a brighter future. The story of America is etched into the annals of history, a testament to the visionaries and leaders who shaped its destiny. From the founding fathers who dared to envision a new form of government, to the presidents who navigated the nation through times of war and peace, each leader has left an indelible mark on the American story. George Washington, the first president, set the standard for leadership, guiding the fledgling nation through its infancy with wisdom and integrity. Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence, championed the ideals of liberty and self-government, his vision enshrined in the nation's founding document. Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator, held the nation together during its darkest hour, his legacy forever intertwined with the abolition of slavery and the preservation of the Union. These towering figures are but a few of the many leaders who have shaped the course of American history. From Theodore Roosevelt, the trust-busting conservationist, to Franklin D. Roosevelt, who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, to John F. Kennedy, who inspired a generation with his vision of a new frontier, each president has faced unique challenges and left their own mark on the nation's narrative. The United States, a vast and diverse nation, presents a tapestry woven with threads of safety and vulnerability. While the pursuit of justice remains a constant, the landscape of crime varies across its states, reflecting a complex interplay of socio-economic factors, law enforcement strategies, and community dynamics. States like Maine, Vermont, and Idaho consistently rank among the safest, their low crime rates attributed to strong community ties, robust social services, and effective law enforcement. These states often boast idyllic landscapes, peaceful communities, and a sense of tranquility that pervades daily life. In contrast, states like New Mexico, Alaska, and Louisiana grapple with higher crime rates, often concentrated in urban centers grappling with poverty, unemployment, and gang violence. Factors such as drug trafficking, gang activity, and socioeconomic disparities contribute to a complex web of challenges that law enforcement and community leaders strive to address. While the United States embraces its multicultural heritage and celebrates the symphony of languages spoken within its borders, it stands as a nation without an officially designated language at the federal level. English, however, reigns supreme as the de facto language of daily life, commerce, and government, its widespread use a reflection of its historical dominance and its role as a unifier in a nation of immigrants. The absence of an official language speaks to the American ethos of inclusivity and its recognition of the ever-evolving tapestry of cultures that enrich its social fabric. From Spanish to Mandarin, Arabic to Hindi, the airwaves crackle with the melodies of countless languages, a testament to the nation's embrace of diversity. The United States dollar, symbolized by the iconic dollar and identified by its three-letter code USD, stands as the official currency of the nation. Its history intertwined with the nation's economic ascent, the dollar has become a symbol of global economic power, its value a barometer of global financial health. The culinary landscape of the United States is as diverse as its people, a melting pot of flavors influenced by waves of immigration, regional specialties, and a love affair with innovation. From the hearty comfort food of the South to the fresh, farm-to-table creations of the Pacific Northwest, American cuisine is a celebration of culinary creativity and a testament to the nation's cultural tapestry. No culinary journey through America would be complete without savoring the iconic flavors of its most beloved dishes. The juicy flame-grilled burger, a symbol of American indulgence, beckons from roadside diners and upscale restaurants alike. Pizza, with its endless variations, has become a national obsession, its cheesy goodness a staple of casual gatherings and late-night cravings. For those seeking a taste of Americana without breaking the bank, the United States offers a plethora of affordable dining options. Fast food chains, a ubiquitous part of the American landscape, provide quick and inexpensive meals, while family-owned diners offer a taste of home-cooked comfort. Food trucks, a growing trend in urban areas, tantalize taste buds with their eclectic offerings, from gourmet tacos to artisanal grilled cheese sandwiches. The United States, a nation of sprawling landscapes and bustling metropolises, boasts states that dwarf many countries in size and population. Alaska, the last frontier, reigns supreme as the largest state by area, its vast wilderness encompassing over 665,000 square miles of glaciers, mountains, and untamed beauty. California, the Golden State, claims the title of most populous state, its vibrant cities and diverse population exceeding 39 million residents. From the sun-drenched beaches of Southern California to the towering redwoods of the North, California's allure continues to draw dreamers and doers from every corner of the globe. Texas, the Lone Star State, known for its independent spirit and outsized personality, ranks second in both area and population. Its sprawling ranches, oil fields, and booming cities reflect a state that embodies the American spirit of ambition and self-reliance. These giants among states, each with its unique character and contributions to the national tapestry, exemplify the vastness and diversity that define the United States. A taste of Americana, from coast to coast, a culinary adventure. The American culinary landscape is a vast and flavorful tapestry woven from the threads of countless cultures and traditions. From the Atlantic's edge to the Pacific's embrace, each region boasts its own unique flavors and culinary treasures, making a culinary journey through America an adventure for the palate. The Northeast, with its rich history and abundance of fresh seafood, offers a taste of classic Americana. Indulge in a steaming bowl of clam chowder in Boston, savor the flavors of a traditional New England lobster bake in Maine, or delight in a slice of New York-style pizza, its thin crust and generous toppings a testament to the city's vibrant energy. Venture south, and the air becomes thick with the aroma of slow-cooked barbecue and the comforting spices of Creole and Cajun cuisine. In the heart of Texas, sink your teeth into a plate of smoky brisket, its tender meat infused with the flavors of hickory and mesquite. Along the Mississippi Delta, savor the rich, complex flavors of gumbo, a stew that embodies the soul of Louisiana cooking. While America offers a plethora of fine dining experiences, it also boasts a vibrant and delicious world of budget-friendly eats. From coast to coast, hungry travelers and locals alike can savor tasty and affordable meals without breaking the bank. Food trucks, a culinary revolution on wheels, have become ubiquitous in cities across America, offering an eclectic array of flavors and cuisines at wallet-friendly prices. Track down a Korean BBQ taco truck in Los Angeles, grab a lobster roll from a harborside food truck in Portland, Maine, or indulge in a gourmet grilled cheese sandwich from a sidewalk vendor in Austin, Texas. Diners, those quintessential American eateries, offer a nostalgic charm and a menu of classic comfort food at prices that won't break the bank. Slide into a booth at a roadside diner and order up a stack of fluffy pancakes, savor a juicy burger and fries, or warm up with a bowl of homemade soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. Section 3. States of Extremes. Unveiling the largest in area and population. The United States, a nation of sprawling landscapes and bustling urban centers, boasts states that rival countries in size and population. From the icy expanse of Alaska to the densely populated coasts, the states themselves represent a microcosm of the nation's vastness and diversity. Alaska, the last frontier, reigns supreme as the largest state in the Union, its territory encompassing over 665,000 square miles of untamed wilderness. Home to towering mountain ranges, pristine glaciers, and abundant wildlife, Alaska's vastness embodies the spirit of adventure and the allure of the untamed. California, the Golden State, claims the title of the most populous state, its 39 million residents a testament to its allure as a land of opportunity and diverse cultures. From the sun-kissed beaches of Southern California to the towering redwoods and bustling tech hubs of the North, California's dynamism and cultural richness have made it a global destination. From its humble origins as a collection of colonies clinging to the Atlantic coast, America has evolved into a global superpower, its influence felt in every corner of the globe. Its journey has been marked by triumphs and tragedies, by periods of unity and times of deep division. Through it all, the American spirit, that indomitable belief in the power of possibility, has endured, shaping the nation's destiny and inspiring generations to reach for a brighter future. America's story is not a fairy tale, it's a complex and often messy tapestry woven from the threads of countless individual stories. It's a story of immigrants who crossed oceans and braved new frontiers, seeking freedom and opportunity. It's a story of innovators and entrepreneurs who built industries and transformed the world with their inventions. It's a story of activists and reformers who challenged injustice and fought tirelessly for equality. As we reflect on the epic journey of America, from its founding to its rise as a superpower, we are reminded that the story is far from over. The nation continues to evolve, to grapple with its past, and to strive for a more perfect union. The American story is not just a tale of the past, it's a story that is still being written today. It's a story that belongs to all of us, regardless of our backgrounds or beliefs. It's a story that invites us to embrace the spirit of possibility, to celebrate our differences, and to work together to build a brighter future for generations to come. If you've been inspired by the story of America, join us in celebrating its legacy and embracing its future. Like this video, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on more captivating stories from history and beyond. Together, let's keep the spirit of America alive, exploring its past, engaging with its present, and shaping its future. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the heart of a nation.